Oh. Oh, my hips hurt, but at least I know why today. Oh. Hey, River, how's it going? I forgot to answer your question about the cat. I can't promise the cat. The cat promises himself when he decides. Yes, I got it to you. Let me know if you have questions or if you can read my handwriting. I was being lazy about typing anything. That's funny. You can see me wiping the screen. My hips are killing me. I earned it this time, thankfully, but my hips are killing me. I went swimming, but I have a friend who's been swimming like swim team swimming for most of his life, and he did a clinic with me yesterday. But what that involved was me busting my ass, making my hips do work. So one of the things I think I'm struggling with here is Raylia. Man, I skated with kids who when I was in Calgary, and they had so much fun making fun of me. The issue I'm having here is that I'm trying to set up like a punchline, and Relia is the character who would be naturally the least used to this. But Relia is also the character who's had Kaywar telling her, like Kaywar's been telling Rail her every like thought for decades, right? I guess Saru could be the outsider here. Saru is flat out the outsider here. Yeah, it's got to be Saru. That's the right answer here. Uncle. Specifically, though, it is uncle on the father's side, or if it's the same gender couple, on like the A side of the family, but also is like semi-adoptive. It's Rowan. The Grey Tempest. Who else has the authority? Using Saru here makes a lot of sense. Relia has dealt with this to a much lower level, right? But I kept making Relia to eyes wide open, like, what? Especially since like we see her being like, "Hey, we're dating again." Damn it! Oh well, like she's very jaded about some parts of this. So to have her be the one who is very like, "What? What do you mean?" Um, didn't feel right. But Saru being like, "I'm new here and I don't understand what's happening," makes a lot of sense. Hmm. It's the pool right now. Man, I can't believe I deleted this passage about the pool because I was like, well, this isn't working. I'm gonna. Oh, there it is. Wow. Yeah, already. I lost. Holy crap! It's been so long since I've used Caedon's name. Nope, that's the wrong one. It's been so long since we've talked about the Vinalmi himself. Overshot. There it is. Caedamon. He likes to digivolve. He digivolves. Caedmon? Kama? Hey, the horrors exist. I took yesterday to go visit my niece and nephew, uh, which was nice and recharging. And I had a few minutes of waiting for them to show up, so I was able to finish my notes on your piece. It was sweet. My friends were very much like, "Oh my god, we didn't realize we would it take so long." I'm like, "Oh no, I had to sit outside in perfect spring weather in your nice, like, quasi rural home, and I made myself comfortable on your patio. Whatever will I do? It's hard to get over the vampire brain, though, of like, I'm not invited. I haven't been welcomed in. I'm not invited. I'm like, no, I'm invited. I know I'm invited. Ow. Hey, Angel, how you doing? I'm pretty good. I don't know. I just started, but my brain is actually focused. So like, we're taking the wins where we can get them. But I'm doing good. Hey, welcome. Welcome back. I hate it when that happens, when you kind of just like go head down and just don't get words down for a bit. It materially affects my like mental state. I realize I look like I'm staring off into the distance, but this is just less comfortable than this. I can go like a month or two, and then I'll be like, man, I just feel really shit. Like, blah, blah, blah. I should, and then I'll be like, I'm gonna go right, and I'm like, oh, okay. Man, I wish my I wish my eyes were better. Hold on, I can't see anything for a second here. I'm greasy this morning. Um, when did you arrive versus when have you arrived? Um, it'll be. I'll type it in. But when did you arrive? Um, ignore that. I don't know what I. Yeah, when did you arrive? Would be the more grammatically correct version of that. Ignore my text. My brain is on. It's just not on yet, right? Like, Besides, I think occasionally about moving over to like trying LASIK or something. I know I'm a bad candidate, but it'd be really nice to not have to worry about these things getting dirty. Also, it'd be nice to just be able to do this. But I think some of this is dry eyes. So. Let's get some eye drops. Oh, I've had mine since like fifth grade or something like that. I've had my glasses my entire life. It's just the dirtiness of them has steadily gotten more annoying over the last 5 years. Yes, I use OneNote for my World Bible, and I use Scrivener as my writing environment. The Scrivener change is the newest of the changes as I moved away from Word. I really like Scrivener, although its spell checker is shit. There's a like improved modified spell checker library for Scrivener that I just haven't bothered to upload. But its spell checker dictionary is really bad. So you have to go get the community one. That's right. I was checking. What is the rank? High Commander? High Commander, all right. All right, at least tentative High Commander. What? Notion's not a terrible plan. I kind of want to move over to Eclipse, but anytime I move my World Bible anywhere, it's a multi-month long process. My shitty netbook just got weird, so I'm refreshing chat. I can't see chat for a few minutes, for probably a minute or so here. It's not. All right, chat's still loading. River, do you think it's funnier if Talico has bet on the Order of Stars Light, which is the people who put Kware technically under house arrest, but are very like monkish proper, you know, they're very proper order things. Or if he's done it, or do you think if it's Sylviana who put the money down on the Order of Stars Light, calling to yell at them next? He is the mom friend. Yeah, it's very fair. I put 30. It's long odds. But honestly, I have every faith in my I'm technically the bookie. Is Ardovan the bookie? Ardovan feels like he would be the bookie. Or do we give Talico the bookie? Rowan? Rowan's on the pool, though. I don't know if Rowan can be in the pool and be the bookie. I mean, he can. Everybody would trust him enough for it. But yeah, the part of the pool was, is Rowan going to yell at Kware? Yeah. I'm although I think I'm also paying out as the house if my crown. Technically, oh, wouldn't be right. From our people. I am taking Mise's money when I win, though. Angel, do you write Sorry, I got distracted by actually putting words down. I'm so proud of myself. Um, what do you mean about writing the important details you need for the book? I I suffer from world builder disease. I am a broken person who at some point is going to have to do orbital mechanics math on 2 homeworlds because I'm going to need to figure out lunar cycles for religious purposes that my characters don't fully observe. Do Yeah, River, you missed out yesterday or last week. Oh God, who was it? It was me and Desmar, I think. We're just world builder. We're both 2 people deep in the world builder disease life, just bitching and moaning about it and like doing the work. I don't put it in Scrivener. I keep everything kind of in one place. I try to in OneNote. I have a special section set aside for politics and some stuff like that. But yes, I do a lot of that. But I'm also at the point of like, at some point, I need to figure out how they deal with sewage. Is it going to matter? No, not really. But they have a city the size of a continent. Um, like a city that spans most of a continent, and their like big ecological beliefs. I try to do everything, which is a mistake. I try to focus it. Like I let the story tell me when I run into places where I need to do digging, and really get into the nitty gritty. But I try to, when I did my politics, for example. All right, we're going to Scapple. I structured it. I have government, like political axes based on government preference, on geopolitical preferences, on economic movement preferences, notes about major sociocultural axes, not sociopolitical, but I have some sociopolitical axes as well. And this is for one country. This is for the main country. I'm gonna have to do this again for a couple other countries. Um, this is what I mean when I say world builder disease. And this was all because this entire story is a political thriller, um, which was not my intention going into it, but it has become a political thriller. So, but I was writing it with this very nebulous understanding of like what the opponents were trying to get power. Her parents were trying to stop her opponents from getting power. It's a very loose, like there's not a huge amount of info here, right? Like that doesn't, it's hard to write like a multi-thousand year complex political espionage if you don't understand the actual goals of the people who are doing the plotting. I mean, you have some form of government. You might not have my clusterfuck of a government, which was deliberately written to be broken and a little shitty. Um, I need the Imperium. I need the Imperium. Like, this is the structure of the Imperium government. Um, kind of. Yeah. Uh, I have been a one project person. Um, that's part of my secret. That's not true. I have other projects. I have one other major project, but it's a TTRPG project, so it's over here. And then I have my writing project, and then I'm running a Avatar: The Last Airbender TTRPG, so that's technically its own project, but that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Um, yeah, you're well in River. You're able to do a lot in the real world, which means it's a different type of world building. Um, like talking about your setting for your the thing you last sent me that I finally got your notes back on. Like you had to do a lot of, I guess, setting, right? Like you had to do world building, but it's it's like grounded world building, which is actually a struggle for me. Yeah. Yeah, creating your own cities or towns is like a chunk of world building, right? And but you're able to do it with a lot of like real weight to the city, which is one of the issues I'm currently having with my continent city here. Um, is that like my main characters are not in the city. They live in a she has an estate. They go to the city, but the that was one of the honestly one of the most fun chapters for me. But one of the hardest chapters was the hey, we're gonna go to the Verge that's in the middle of the city and cross over. Not the hardest, most complex world building wise was making the Verge and the Verge Plaza, which is like a magical portal, feel like alive and real. And I think I did a really good job with it. That was a lot of fun, but goddamn, that was a lot of work. I do too. Although I've been less creative than I want to be um, for the last couple of years. But what I do, one of the things I love about the way I built my world is I can write short stories, I can write vignettes, I can write scenes, all in the same world, right? So if I get bored, if I start struggling, if I really need to go work on something else, I can go do that. I can let myself go do that without ever actually leaving the world I'm in. And all that means is that at some point down the road, I will have a moment about, right, I need my, sometimes they're about the main character, but not always. But like one of the ones I have, it's not my favorite piece, but it's about they they have implants in their head that allow them if you tune them wrong, they're like I guess they're cyborg implants, but they're not technically, but they're like they're computers implanted in your head that let you like think and like interface with a computer completely with your thoughts. But if you tune them right, you can like mesh an entire network of people into like one, not hive mind, but like one unified mind. Um, one of the things you have to do is get used to somebody in that network dying. Um, and so I was feeling maudlin or whatever, and so I wrote this whole piece about like, hey, this is what it feels like to experience your first death. Um, I wasn't willing to work on my story on the novel. I got distracted, but I was able to do that. Um, I don't know if I ever sent this one to you, River. This is the closest I've ever come to writing poetry. That's not true, but it's very close to the only time I've ever tried to write anything that's somewhat like poetry or um it's interesting. It's a very interesting piece. But I have a lot of those, right? Like that's one of my favorite one of the things I can freely admit I've been so lucky about. Um and I write non-humans in a non-human culture, like very I made choices. I love my choices. They were not good choices. I made bad decisions. Um but what you call it, I at some point I actually ended up going back and looking at like, okay, humanity does show up at some point in the story. So what does a story written for humanity look like? And I wrote this whole short piece based off of actually I have it. I wrote this whole short piece because I came across, oh no, did I not? I need to copy this picture for realsies. Come on. Is that open? No, it did not. Shit. That's on me. Um, but it was a like photo manipulation of a woman playing the violin and fire is rolling off the strings of the violin. Um, and I was like, that's a really cool image. That'd be a really fun that'd be a really fun way to do an urban fantasy. Um, and good luck fucking finding it now because it's all going to be AI slop. Um, there's a decent chance this one is AI schlock. This one's probably not. But hold on. It wasn't this photo. Oh, that's not. Oh, interesting. Hold on. Where can I put experiment time? Oh, cool. Hold on. River, you can ignore that. I'm using you as a pass through. Hi. We're actually in the main. We're at the main hub now as I use this as a pass through. I'm really sad. Yes, I want to. Gosh, really? We're gonna be like this? There we go. So it wasn't this picture. I should probably link where I got this picture from. But if you can imagine something like this. So I wrote an entire short story, or an entire like little third-person combat scene about it, and then from that I realized, you know what? Actually, this would be a very good. Like I wrote this whole thing. I was like really excited about it, but magic is really hard for me. Like words are magic, or not magic. Music is really hard for me. I'm not fully sure I understand music. Did a whole, but I was, um, but I was really sad. I was like, cool. I don't have time for this project. I have my other massive project. But I realized actually what I can do is just blend this project into my main world building. Um, and get away with like I get to have my cake and eat it too. All right, we're going back to the other scene. I love retellings of fairy tales. The girl with the burning violin pose. No, don't open now. Don't open. No. Stop it. I'm not going to use the accessibility. I'm citing my sources. Hey, Cinderella retellings are cool. I like a lot of those old, like, you know, it's an old story. You're telling the shape, but it's that you can do a lot of fun things retelling the shapes of a story, right? Um, at some point, I need to make a final decision on how the human history was to justify this. But one of the coolest things that gave me, because I had humanity having like psychic powers or psionics technically, um, but what this gave me was the ability for like when humans arrive into the setting, um, are humans. There are technically still humans in the set. When Terrans arrive into the setting, um, their fleets are like symphonies. Their squadrons are movements, right? Like it's all music themed, and I love that. It's such a like it gives them an identity. A 6-part series. Damn. You are a much faster writer than I am. I approve of this. Hmm. Hmm. Oops. I mean, I've deleted what 3 weeks worth of work each. Like every week, I've deleted a week's worth of work. Oh, you do eventually get. Hey, 13, how you doing? You're both. Yeah. Oh no. I do. Are you on Mac or are you on PC? I do need to. I am using OneDrive as my cloud save for my Scrivener stuff, and I know Scrivener PC struggles with Mac or with cloud save stuff over. Uh, I think they got it working in the Mac side of things, but I do need to move my cloud storage off of OneDrive for my writing. It's the only thing I have left that's exposed to like AI models. There. What I really need to do is just bite the bullet and pay for the Proton VPN and like Proton environment package. Maybe I do that today. Nice. That's smart. It was a shock for me. We are. We are taking it seriously. Nice. I had written a 100,000 word novel. It wasn't very good. Um, but like very early in my life, I finished a novel, but it was in first person. And I went back in and put it in third person, and then I added, I think, 70,000 words to it. And then a second rewrite added another like 40,000 words to it. Um, I published that, self-published that to a couple of people, made some vanity. It was vanity press stuff, but it was cool to have it. It's cool to have a finished copy of it. It's not very good. It's not worth me ever sharing, kind of thing. But I get that. Sometimes the rewrite, adding more words. At some point, I'm gonna have a developmental editor come through here and an editor come through here and stuff. That'll be fun. Nice. Did you go like self publish, or did you do like a couple as a vanity press? Because I did a vanity press to like learn about the self publishing, like self press kind of situation, which was fun. It was cool to learn. It was also very cool to have. This setup I have is really nice. Is really convenient for things like this. It lives here, but you know, bigger side of text, but yeah, did this as a print. It was a really interesting experiment. I think I made 5 of these. One went to my friend who did the art for me. One's with my best friend. One's with my parents. I don't remember where the 5th one went. I made 3 of these. 4 of the. I made a 4. I had to print a 4th one. Is what happened. But printed a few copies of this. It was cool, and it's nice to have it. Like, it's hard to see in the shots, but it lives kind of in the shrine of writing stuff. Oh, wait, you. Where are you going? Where are you going? Come here. Come here. Ha, baja, baja. Hold on. Ha, baja, baja, baja. I almost had a cat in my arms, but he decided to play chase with me instead. I almost got a scoop in. He dodged the scoops. That's the. You're welcome to put a link in. Yeah. I can't promise I'll read anything or look at it on stream, but you're welcome to drop a link. The links are open right now. Aha. You have fallen from my trap, cat. Scoop. Oh, you've been scooped. I'm very happy you like being scooped. I realize you guys can't hear the music I'm listening to, so me making him dance just looks like I'm being weird. Who's a good lad? Oh. Be free. It's true. Full hollow. Speaking of which, I made a mistake clicking on that link on this shitty netbook. It will load eventually. Where's Krios? Haha. Oh, oops, I was in the wrong. I was trying to figure out. Incoming call. Incoming call. Oh, that's cool. Put it. Put it in the tank, but limit. Oh yeah, it loaded. Nice cover. Angel. No worries, Angel. Speaking of which, Well, limit the pickups to me. But one month is wrong, but